This is the Royals POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Kansas City Royals. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome in to the Royals POSTCAST on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm your host, Chance Liebau, here to bring you reaction to every single Royals game the rest of the way. You can follow me on Twitter at Chance Liebau. It is right there down below by my name tag if you're watching live. But if you're not watching live, you can always get these episodes on demand and check us out wherever you get your podcasts, whether that's Spotify, Apple Music, all that jazz. If you are here live, remember to subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications so that you can get an alert whenever we go live. Thanks so much for joining the show, and feel free to join the live chat and let me know your thoughts on the game. There's a chance that we could respond to your comments because people are already getting questions in. Why can't Cags hit the ball in the air? We'll get to that in a moment. People are blaming somebody that I don't think deserves blame for that, and we will get to that here in just a moment. But the Royals lose 5-4 against the Dodgers. Just an absolute sucker punch to the gut. I mean, that was a very winnable game against a team that the Royals could have gotten a lot of confidence from beating. It's not beating up on the A's or the Rockies or the White Sox. A win in game one of this series with a rookie and Noah Cameron on the mound, you're feeling pretty good about yourself in this series. But I don't even want to say I'm disappointed because they played well. This was their best game since the St. Louis series. The Texas series. And before that, the St. Louis series when we first started this almost a month ago. So I'm not like upset about the loss to the best team in baseball, but that one just sucks. That's like, I'm a K-State football fan. K-State football in like the mid-2010s were really good at getting out to early leads or making you think that they compete with like a top 10 ranked team at home. And then they just piss it away in the end. And that kind of seems like what the Royals did tonight. So many opportunities they just squandered. We'll get to that in a moment. But as we always do, let's start out with what you'll be talking about.
This is what you'll be talking about.
This was probably the best offensive performance for the team since the Texas series. And even then, I'm honestly not pleased with how the offense performed. You have a lot of dead weight in there. Jonathan India had a bad game at the plate, struck out in his first two ABs. Jac Caglianone continues to struggle. We'll get to him shortly. John Rave is an out and will be for however long you keep him up there. Kyle Isbell finally got a couple knocks to break out of his slump, but there's just so many outs in this lineup right now, and they just can't seem to get anything out of the infield. Hell, even in the last inning there, it's Salvi popping it up on the right side. He gets on. That loads the bases for Jac Caglianone, and he hits a chopper to the second baseman for the game-ending double play. And you can say what you want about Caglianone and his, Preston Farr had a tweet kind of detailing the changes that he made. And I'll be honest, I'm okay with it. Like, I get it. It's attribution theory at its finest. Everybody thinks Alex Zumwalt is a big, dumb idiot, and he might be. He very well be. It's been a really rough week for that guy. He's had a really tough week. It's probably on his shoulders, but he's had a tough week. And you can't just say, you can't attribute every negative thing for this Royals offense to the guy that you're trying to get fired and then disregard all the positives that he's done. And I'm not saying he's done a whole lot of positives, but in theory, a rookie coming up like Jac Caglianone did and struggling immediately. He sucked for a week. He was hitting the ball hard, he's hitting in the ground, hitting the ball right into the dirt every single time. And then, so what do you expect your hitting coach to do? Just say, just go get him next time. No, you expect them to make adjustments. And as much as I don't like Alex Zumwalt, the fans don't like Alex Zumwalt. It might not have even been him. It might have been Keone Durant or many of the other hitting coaches the Royals had. You can complain about the adjustments that Jac Caglianone made, but the guy's hitting the ball and killing worms every time he steps up to the plate because he's killing ground balls the entire time. He's got a bad case of the Eric Hosmers where he just pulls the crap out of every single pitch he sees into the ground on the second base side. So you can be upset about Alex Zumwalt. I totally understand that. But him wanting to make an adjustment for a rookie that is struggling, and I think an adjustment that's not a bad idea. I think that him getting a little bit lower in his stance so he can get under the baseball a little bit more. The results haven't been there yet, but it's been just over a week since that adjustment was made. So you're not going to see immediate results from a change, especially in a really hard sport like baseball. So I understand the frustration with Alex Zumwalt. I said it yesterday. I thought it was his last series as the Royals hitting coach. All the stuff on Twitter comes out about him, DMing a bunch of burners and people that are talking smack on him. Like I am in the same boat as you guys in wanting him gone, but to criticize a guy for, you're upset at him for not doing his job. Then the guy actually goes out and does his job by trying to coach one of their players, does it right or wrong, whatever, but he's still trying at least. Like at some point, they're trying. I mean, I understand the frustration with him. I want him gone just as much as the next guy. He's not carrying his weight. But tonight, they had 10 hits. They couldn't get the ball out of the infield. They just could not get anything of, obviously the Bobby home run. Michael Garcia had a scorcher. Salvi hit one off the inner part of the barrel to get a couple runs in early. But Bobby Witt Jr. doesn't hit a 2-run home run if Teoscar Hernandez doesn't misplay a ball in right field. So I get it. I get the frustration that you can be half full or half empty, however you want it. Like your half full could be like, well, they had 10 hits and they had an opportunity, the bases loaded against one of the better closers in baseball, and you just miss on a lefty-lefty matchup with Caglianone and Tanner Scott. That's a matchup Tanner Scott's going to win a lot. Or you can be glass half empty and say, well, I mean, other than Bobby, who just scorched a ball into left center, and Michael, who hit a ball in the left corner, I mean, they really didn't have very many good, bat on ball play, got things where they just absolutely scorched it. So I'm frustrated just like you are, but this was I don't want to say a positive sign or, arrow pointing up, but this was better than what we've seen. And I think that's at some point, you kind of got to grade them on a curve. Like these guys aren't good baseball players at the major league level. We kind of have to grade them on a curve. I mean, I think there are 4 legitimate major league, like if you put this guy in an average MLB lineup, he is starting. There's 4 of those guys in the Royals lineup right now, and maybe 3.5 because I don't know. Jonathan India hasn't been spectacular recently, but Michael, Bobby, and Vinny are the only guys that you could throw them in any other major league lineup and they would start. Jac Caglianone's hitting under the Mendoza line, and he's kind of regressing at this point. Salvi, say what you want about Salvi. He's a 1 for 5 a night. I mean, he's not going to get you very many good ABs. India, whatever. And then you've got the bottom third of the lineup, which is just filled with a bunch of outs. At some point, you have to grade them on a curve that this team is not very good right now. Not saying that you can't do anything about that. I mean, we're coming up on July when teams are going to start being a little bit more transactional. But at this point, you have to just kind of call a spade a spade. These guys aren't Major League Baseball players. They're not good Major League Baseball players at this point. You kind of got to take your wins where you can get them. 2-hit game out of Kyle Isbell. That's awesome. That's a tip of the cap. That's kind of a good thing that you can talk about. But man, oh man, it is just frustrating to watch this team at the plate because it's like watching a JV team out there because they aren't hitting the ball hard. They're not hitting the ball far. I mean, it is continuing to be very disappointing to see what this offense has done. And honestly, the what you'll be talking about segment has just basically been offense for the last 2 weeks. But when the offense has been as bad as it is, I mean, that's what everybody's going to be talking about. Go onto Twitter and search Royals on your Twitter Explore page and go find out what's been said. I mean, it's not that hard to figure out that the offense is the major talking point because this pitching staff continues to be really good. And Noah Cameron continues to be a bright spot in this organization, the development of Noah Cameron. I like what I saw from him tonight, and I'll tell you why when we come back on the Royals Postcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Have you ever decided at the last minute to head to a ball game with friends or family? Maybe it's game day and you suddenly realize you want to be in the stands. That's exactly where Gametime comes in. It's the easiest way to grab last minute tickets without the stress. With the money you save on tickets, you can splurge on food, drinks, merch, or even invite a bigger group to come with you. Gametime makes it possible. Gametime makes buying tickets fast and simple. Prices on the app actually drop the closer you get to first pitch, and they've got incredible last-minute deals, clear seat views, and a lowest price guarantee that takes the worry out of buying. Gametime is the official ticketing partner of Locked On MLB, making it easy to browse the app for an exciting upcoming MLB game, like the Royals-Dodgers series this weekend. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Download the Gametime app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. Noah Cameron got the start tonight, and he had a really tall task. I mean, going up against this Dodgers lineup, I was actually fine with how Noah Cameron pitched. He didn't have great stuff. The command was not there. Honestly, it felt like he was a little bit too confident going in. The Shohei Ohtani first AB, obviously homers in the first AB, but you kind of go middle with two of your. He goes middle with the fastball, middle with the curveball. Shohei takes both of them, kind of just getting a feel, and then Noah Cameron kind of walking around like, damn, I got Shohei down 0-2 right now, and we're throwing it right down the middle. Let's try it again. And then Shohei tees off and sends in the fountains, and the Royals are in a 1-0 hole without recording an out. So I get it. I think Noah Cameron was fine tonight, and I know that a lot of people are probably going to be upset about Matt Quatraro pulling him at what was he at? What was his pitch count tonight? Pulling it up here, 84. But I mean, first game of a series, he had seen the lineup a couple of times. I'm okay with him. I get the early leash on Noah Cameron, especially when you have a rested bullpen. But then again, I think that at some point they're going to have to kind of cut him loose and just be like, okay, you're our 3 starter, you're our 4 starter. But I don't mind the early pull. He went 4 innings and gave up 5 earned runs. You take the periphery, you zoom in really close, and you see 4 innings, 5 earned runs, bunch of walks. Like, I'm okay with pulling a guy after 84 pitches there. But I think that at the same time, he was fine today. I think that he was good enough to win a baseball game against, Dustin May was not spectacular for the Dodgers. He didn't have great command. There were some really bad ABs, including India to lead off the game. I mean, the stark difference between, and I get it, Shohei Ohtani's like the greatest baseball player to grace dirt. I mean, he is one of the greatest baseball players of all time. The stark difference between Shohei's first AB and Jonathan India's first AB kind of set the tone for what the game was going to look like. But, I mean, the Dodgers lineup really didn't have Noah Cameron read that well all night long. And then the bullpen comes in, and, if the bullpen doesn't pitch as well as they did, we're probably talking a little bit more about why they pulled Cameron so early. But at some point, and I think it's probably going to happen soon, at some point, one of the guys in the bullpen, whether that's a John Schreiber, Jack brought it up on his mailbag episode today, one of the guys in the bullpen that isn't Lucas Erceg or Carlos Estevez, I would imagine they get traded at the deadline because you can capitalize on it. I mean, look what the Royals gave up for Lucas Erceg last year, a guy that's kind of in his mid to late 20s. And Lucas Erceg is like a converted pitcher, but he's got 4 years of team control left. I mean, a guy like Steven Cruz, Royals gave up a lot last year to get Lucas Erceg from the A's. And the A's were like well out of contention. The Royals could kind of float. Well, we're kind of happy with where we're at. We don't want to sell. I mean, I think the Royals could get a pretty good haul for a guy like Steven Cruz or even Angel Zerpa if he continues to pitch well. But it's going to be interesting to see how they approach the deadline because, I mean, at some point Hunter Harvey's going to come back. Kyle Wright, I mean, he's in AAA right now. They optioned him to AAA. I mean, I don't know what Alec Marsh is going to look like his rehab, but I mean, even a guy like Taylor Clark could net you somebody. I mean, remember a couple years ago when the Royals traded Emmanuel Rivera for Luke Weaver? Now Luke Weaver's like the setup guy or the closer for the Yankees. So I think that you could probably talk yourself into trading one of these bullpen guys that has team control left because what we've seen from this Royals, farm system is they can develop pitching really, really well, which is crazy to say in the year 2025. I mean, 4 years ago, we thought Cal Eldred was telling pitchers to throw it right down the middle more often than not. I mean, It's very different what we've seen from the last 3 years in terms of pitching development, which makes those bullpen guys like an Angel Serpa, I mean, even Sam Long to a certain extent could probably, draw some kind of interest. And then Taylor Clark, even him too. I think Taylor Clark could be somebody of somewhat interest. I mean, it's the bullpen. They're pretty expendable. And I think you get a decent, like a 20 to 30 range prospect in a team's organization. I mean, I don't think you're going to get a lottery ticket. You'll probably get a quadruple A guy. You'll get a Joey Weimer type or a Cam Devaney type, but nobody spectacular. But like the Royals need to trade major league pitchers for major league bats because they don't have any major league bats right now. I mean, this lineup is atrocious to watch. And I don't think it's going to get any better tomorrow because they got Shohei. Shohei's going to start, I believe. I don't know what the innings restriction is for Shohei. He's only gone one inning in each of his first 2 starts. So I don't know if that's the plan once again tomorrow. But if you're in the betting market, Royals to not score a run in the first inning, probably get decent odds there because I don't think they're going to scratch much against Shohei. Is the worst fastball hitting team in Major League Baseball other than the Pirates and White Sox. And I mean, they're facing a bunch of guys with bowling ball sinkers and lively four-seamers. So not a recipe for success for the Royals as they fall tonight by a final of 5-4. Appreciate you guys for hopping in the live chat. This is going to be continuing, obviously, throughout the weekend. We'll have another postcast tomorrow after. Probably be tomorrow night, like 6 o'clock tomorrow. Royals got a 3:10 first pitch against the Dodgers. So I appreciate you guys for all tuning in. Be coming back tomorrow. We'll be right back in this saddle when the Royals hopefully are able to take a game from the Dodgers in game 2. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Chance Liebau. This has been the Royals Postcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network.